Putin and Xi Jinping save Gaza. The world urges Israel to stop attacks on Palestine. In a recent UN meeting, Russia and China strongly opposed Israel's aid proposal for Gaza, which had US backing. The Russian delegation even accused Israel of trying to use the UN as a tool for its military operations, something that could undermine the organization's neutrality. That accusation sparked a heated debate. Basically, Israel's leadership is asking the UN to become a partner in its military campaign, which would compromise the integrity of humanitarian efforts.
Tensions rose further when the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Dorothy Shea, urged the UN and aid groups to get on board with the Israel-U.S. aid plan. The proposal involves setting up a new humanitarian organization in Gaza that would deliver aid directly to civilians, bypassing Hamas. Israel and the U.S. claimed this new group would stick to humanitarian principles and ensure safe delivery of aid to the people who need it.
Tensions indeed rose as this proposal was met with mixed reactions from various international actors.
However, UN spokesperson Farhan Haq said the UN wouldn't participate in the US-backed plan, stressing the need to stay neutral and independent. The plan doesn't include direct aid delivery by Israel, raising even more concern. UN aid chief Tom Fleur was especially critical. He said the plan was just a cover that could prolong the conflict and make life even worse for the Palestinian refugees trapped in the war zone.
Amid the suffocating siege Israel is enforcing, leaving Gaza in what may be its worst humanitarian crisis ever, China has stepped up to help. Back in February, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning announced that China had sent 60,000 emergency food packages to Gaza from Jordan. Reports say the first batch of about 12,000 packages was delivered successfully. Working with the Palestinian Red Crescent, China managed to get the food aid to the families who needed it most. Roughly 6,200 displaced families, who lost their homes in the conflict, got some relief through this effort. China also committed around $2.75 million in aid to be delivered in 6 phases.
And earlier in August 2024, China donated another $3 million to UNRWA, the UN agency supporting Palestinian refugees. That funding is crucial since UNRWA runs 154 facilities, schools, training centers, warehouses and clinics, many of which are now shelters for war-displaced civilians. You know, China responded pretty quickly to the crisis after fighting broke out between Israel and Hamas. Within just a few weeks, it had sent 15 million yuan, which is about $2 million in food and medical supplies to Gaza. This really proved its ongoing commitment to the Palestinian cause. Even before the latest conflict, China had shown concern for Gaza. Back in August 2023, it donated $1 million to UNRWA, specifically to fund education for 5,300 refugee children in 5 locations across Gaza. That support has been a lifeline for kids trying to stay in school during such an extreme crisis. One of the most shocking moments was a video showing a Chinese cargo plane delivering aid to 60,000 families in Gaza, escorted by fighter jets. It boldly entered Gaza's airspace despite Israeli surveillance. The aid was dropped from the air, but later, conflicting reports suggested the video might have been fake. As a global power, Russia's also been helping Gaza.
The humanitarian crisis is a major tragedy. Israel's blockade that blocks aid from entering Gaza is something we sharply criticize.
He made this statement during a meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in Moscow. Putin pointed out that Russia had sent over 800 tons of aid in the past year, including food, medicine, and essential supplies. Recently, Russia announced it had sent its 32nd wave of humanitarian aid, showing that the support hasn't stopped. In its latest update, Russia sent 28 tons of aid through Egypt, including food equipment and rehab tools desperately needed by Gazans. Back in early 2024, Russia also sent 29 tons of humanitarian supplies, grains, flour, sugar, long-lasting food and hygiene products via the Egyptian Red Crescent. This was a major help to families struggling to survive. Palestinian President Abbas also confirmed that Russia donated 30,000 tons of wheat at the start of the year, a vital contribution for a population that depends heavily on international aid for basic needs. From a humanitarian standpoint, Israel should be opening the gates to let this aid in. But the question is, why does Israel keep blocking it?
Israel has repeatedly said it's worried Hamas might hijack the aid for military purposes, but it hasn't provided clear evidence.
Another possible reason could be fear of weapons smuggling, especially from countries like China and Russia. Israel suspects these nations may be supplying arms to militant groups. In one video, Hamas is believed to have used Chinese-made Red Arrow HJ-8L anti-tank missiles to attack an Israeli combat vehicle called the Ne'mah. In another video, Hamas fighters from the Qassam brigades are shown using Russian-made 9K-32 Strela 2 surface-to-air missiles to target Israeli helicopters. This raises a serious question. Are China and Russia really supplying weapons to Hamas? And it's not just Hamas. Hezbollah, based in Lebanon, is also believed to have received weapons from China and Russia. Reports suggest they've gotten Russian-made TOS-1A rocket launchers and 220mm multiple rocket systems, as well as Chinese-made Type 63 multiple rocket launchers. There's also been public outrage over reports that Russia may be considering sending anti-tank missiles to Hezbollah amid rising tensions with the US. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here at S News, we're committed to bringing you fair and reliable updates. See you in